right, what is going on, New York Giant fans and Detroit Lion fans as well? Welcome back to another training camp recap. We got joint practices for you guys. Going to talk about some lineup notes and everything that went on today because it was very much eventful. I got Bad Takes Brian here. I decided to invite him out for the first day of joint practices with the Detroit Lions. Brian, any first thoughts before we dig into the meat and potatoes?
First thoughts, thank you for inviting me despite the fact I'm not a fan of either team.
Exactly.
And especially the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. Thanks, Detroit. But I'm here as an objective football fan just to see what's going on with each team. Maybe report back to the Bucs. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, it's all about, most importantly, the progression of the Giants rookies and of Daniel Jones himself, was coming off his season-ending injury he had last year. So I'll start off with my first thoughts here. I mean, a lot of passion. I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying. There has been a lot of heat and passion in this Giants team. I want to ask you something, Alex. How many fights were there today?
Fights or scrums?
Let's just go with both.
Let's go with scrums. Because scrums, we're not considering punching. Pushing and shoving, we'll call a scrum. I'm going to say between 6 and 8. And that's listen, we were at the Bucs-Jets practice last year.
Yep.
So, as far as that goes, this is the most fights we've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely. This was a very, very ugly day in terms of that. But in terms of passion and heat and everything, Giants had all of it. And the Lions were trying to go at them, and the Giants were fighting back. It was going both ways. Both teams really wanted this win wanted to have a win today, basically.
Yeah, they wanted to win every rep, which is a good thing. And we knew coming in last year, this year, Dan Campbell's team likes to bring the physicality. They wanted to bite the kneecaps off and all the other quotes and phrases that Dan Campbell usually says. But the Giants were pretty much a somber team last year when they went to Detroit. This year, coming here, the Giants, to my surprise, because the Lions, in my opinion, are a much better football team, but the Lions coming over here, I don't think they expected this physicality from the Giants.
Oh, not at all.
I don't think we expected the physicality from the Giants. And the Giants did have a lot of wins today, and I'll go on that note. Obviously, JMS was out today for the Giants. So you had Greg Van Roten at center. We'll talk about who was involved in the fights in a little bit. No Sam Laporta, and Brian Branch was only in 7-on-7s. But something that I needed to see to boost my confidence into this particular player, and I know you saw it too, and everyone else was, based on the reports, Daniel Jones to Malik Neighbors is real, and Daniel Jones had a really good day today.
That cannot be stressed enough. I'm not kidding when I say this, because he will tell you I'm one of the biggest doubters of Daniel Jones. I have talked so much smack about him over the last 3 years. Today was a very, very good day for him. He didn't miss often. He was nailing long throws, which is what we need to see. If your nickname is Danny Dimes, you got to throw the dimes. And he did that today. He had one spectacular catch, which you'll probably see soon. If you haven't seen on social media already, incredible catch, 40 yards downfield toward the sideline, near the end zone to Malik Neighbors. They ruled it out of bounds, but if you watch the tape, I don't really think so. I don't think the ref knew what he was seeing. Yeah. But Jones was making some great plays, and I also want to give a shout-out to Neighbors. Neighbors was making some great catches. Or even somewhere, if he didn't come down with the ball, his hand was at least on it trying to reel it in, which is the important thing. And that was also with him dealing with other quarterbacks who weren't necessarily on target. I'm going to name one guy. Only one guy who I think had a bad day today. I'm going to give it to Drew Lock. A lot of him, he had some bad starts early, some rough throws, bad decisions, especially his timing. One thing I noticed with Lock that has been his issue most of his career, late. He's late on his throws. And when that happens, it's shown not in the effect of, he's just throwing it well too late. It's the guy has finished his reps, and when he's finished his rep, that's when the ball comes out of his hand. So he's waiting until he's already in position, which leaves too much time open for a DB to come in and make a play. And if you're going to start in the league, you can't be doing that. And so he made that very clear, and he was stuck to doing short checkdowns today. Didn't throw the ball deep much often, and when he did, he was kind of off target. So poor day for Locke. So stock hugely up for Jones to start the season.
Yeah, especially, Tommy DeVito had a solid day, but again, the practice that I was waiting for to see, okay, let's see what Daniel Jones has. And, I forgot to mention, this isn't the same Detroit defense as last year. They added Carlton Davis, thank you, Tampa Bay. They added Terry and Arnold. They added Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri in the draft, both corners from the SEC.
Rakestraw still dealing with injury, though. I don't believe we saw him today.
Okay, so Terry and Arnold we still saw. And again, we didn't get a ton of footage. We didn't see a ton of the offense on the other side because, again, they were in the furthest field away. We mostly saw the Detroit offense and the Giants defense. And I think it was pretty split between the Giants defense and the offense of the Detroit Lions. But if you're a Lions fan, and I know there's been, some stuff on social media, this guy needs to have a big year. Jameson Williams, I thought he had a terrific day today.
A phenomenal day for JMO. There's one rep I posted. If you guys haven't seen it, you can check it out on my X handle, BA Mansa. I posted a video of it. Also, make sure to check him out. He's got a lot of videos from all the Giants camps we've seen since it started. So make sure to keep an eye on Alex's account here. I am going to say there was a great play made where he was running a route just in, working on the inside. And he put a move on Deonte Banks. Yeah. And Banks, rather than commit and follow to JMO, Banks kind of stepped in and then stepped back out and stayed to the outside, leaving him completely wide open in the middle of the end zone for an easy touchdown, easy catch. So JMO was having those. He was getting a lot of big wins on reps. I think he was doing it with Sudfeld, who was doing a lot more short routes today too, but with Goff especially. If JMO has a big year, that's a big deal for the Detroit. If he has a very good year, you're looking at a potential Super Bowl favorite right there.
Yeah, definitely. And he also caught a wide open touchdown, which was a coverage bust by Cordell Flott, which is a problem for the Giants if you want to talk about like a quick negative. Cordell Flott got burnt, and we saw pretty much the first few days during camp, right? Is Cordell Flott going to be the corner too? Was he benefiting from Daniel Jones not having good practices? But then Daniel Jones got progressively better a little bit, and Neighbors was becoming more of a problem, and then Flott became more of a problem in a very much bad way. Then you saw it today on the field against Jameson Williams. So you hope that Cordell Flott, competing for that corner 2 role, could get better in these coming days before we hit the first preseason game on Thursday. And also, just a couple of quick defensive notes. Nick McLeod, who's a guy that's competing for the slot job. He can play a little safety. He's competing for the corner 2 job as well. He made some nice plays today, almost had a pick. Bobby Okereke had a pick 6.
Oh, yes, he did.
And it was off Jared Goff, was it?
I believe it was off Goff, yeah. Goff had a little bit of an errant throw there. Okereke just cut the route off and ran it down. Yeah. And nobody stopped him.
Yeah.
Which was great. And then I also think we have to mention another guy who's had a really good day today. We'll bring up 2 Giants who also did very well. You want to talk about dangerous about the Giants? We talk about defense. We talk about secondary. Let's talk about that defensive line.
Yes.
That outside attack was on fire today. The offensive line for the Lions could not handle, and I'm talking the starters, not even the backup guys. The starting linemen for the Lions struggled against the 2 big-name outside rushers, which are Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Both guys had great days today. Nobody was able to stop them, even their tackles. Didn't matter if they were starter, reserve guy fighting for a spot. They were getting wrecked by both of them today, which is a very good sign. If they maintain that kind of impact, that's going to be huge for Giants. And then albeit at that point, it's just the offense clicking and making the most of their opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. In the one-on-ones that we caught, there was the 7-on-7s, and then there was the one-on-ones, and I was watching the one-on-ones between O-line, D-line. And besides a few reps from Burns, I'm like, okay, well, it looks like the Detroit O-line has got it. But once Shane Bowen started, picking some stuff up and he started throwing stuff at the Lions, they were a bit confused. Guys like not just Tibbs and not just Brian Burns. Elijah Chapman was getting in there. Timmy Horn, who's competing for a spot with the defensive tackles. Nacho, former Buck, he was getting in there. So it was a nice mix. But overall, if we were to talk about the defense of the Giants versus the offense of the Lions, again, it was pretty mixed because there was a lot of checkdowns by Nate Sudfeld and crew. Not necessarily Jared Goff. I mean, he was airing it out a little bit.
It was mostly Sudfeld and Hooker. Yeah. Hooker also was doing a lot more running today, which is what's expected because that's his play style.
Yeah. So just to quickly, I always recap some lineup notes. O-line 2 for the New York Giants. It was Joshua Zudu, Jake Kubas, Austin Schlodman, right guard Jalen Mayfield, and right tackle Joshua Miles. As far as the O-line 3 goes, Yadni Kajust, Marcus McKeithen, Jimmy Morrissey, Marcellus Johnson, and Matt Nelson. And we were talking about them fights earlier. Matt Nelson, Yadni Kajusti, Levi Unwuzuriki, and Marcellus Johnson were involved in one of the last fights that we saw at the end of the camp session. We saw one. Well, we didn't see one. We saw multiple.
Yeah, we did.
But there was one on the far side of the field where it's everyone has a different story. It's either Daniel Jones got involved, or it's Levi Muzuriki, put the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands. He smacked it out of his hands. Brian Dable, went full throttle heat mode. There was another one where Van Roten was shoved, and then that started something.
Well, I believe, from what I'm hearing, at least from how it's been explained, especially by guys like Connor Hughes and SNY, who are on scene for this today, what I understand of it, the play beforehand, when Wuzurike came behind, made contact with Jones to get the ball loose. Meanwhile, the rule is he's wearing a red jersey. You don't make contact, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Lions fans can make all the excuses they want. It's the way practices work. Your guys who are not wearing a red jersey, you can make contact with them. You cannot make contact with the QBs in the red jerseys, because if they get hurt off that hit, that's on you. And then that ruins their season. So it's for the protection and safety of their quarterback for that reason. So any contact like that, that's going to make Dable heated. And don't forget, he lost a lot of weight, so he could chase a guy down. Now we can.
Yeah,
but then the play right after, something happened with Van Roten. He got pushed or shoved, got pushed around a little bit. Jones didn't like it. Jones stepped in, and he made himself known. He hit somebody, if I'm correct. I think he put his hands on somebody. And then at that point, that's when things got ticked off right there. That was one of the bigger scrums of the day. There also was one to kick it off that went on between, I believe, Amon-Ra St. Brown was involved in the first one today.
Was it Andrew Phillips?
It was Andrew Phillips.
I saw Dane. I don't know. As I said, I'd have to go back and look at the replay, which will probably be in this video. I think Dane Belton actually got punched because I saw his head jerk like that, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And then there was the fight, and it just, what was it, like 8 scrums and 3 fights.
Yep.
And I know Isaiah Hodgins, who's fighting for a roster spot, was involved in one of them, but Hodgins was involved in one of them. Daniel Jones, Van Roten, we talked about, and Andrew Phillips and Dane Belton. So
yep.
Pretty action-packed day. If you're a Lions fan, if you're a Giants fan, or if you're just a football fan tuning in. Brian, any final thoughts?
If this day signifies anything, the Giants are looking like a little bit of a sleeper. I wouldn't underestimate. I've got fans telling me they're going to have 12-win seasons, 11-win season. I'm here to tell you right now, you could take that and you could throw that out the window. But the idea that they could have 7, 8 wins, they're in a good area right now where I could see that happening. If Jones has better production, maybe that number goes up. But again, everything we see at camp, this is a reminder for everybody here, everything you see in the preseason and camp, especially with the starters, don't take it to heart. With the backups, that's a little different. For guys fighting for roster spots, that's a little different because these guys got to put more effort to earn their place. These starters are not in any kind of compromised position to lose their spot unless they, basically give up on the team. That's really the only way that happens, or conduct detrimental to the team. So the biggest takeaway is the starters looked good. The depth was looking solid. If they can maintain that and the starters can play above what they're expected to do, they look like a sneaky team this year. But again, preseason game this weekend, so we will see.
Can't wait to see that. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow for another training camp / joint practice recap. Roster bubble videos still coming on the way. All that good stuff. The footage that I got, even some of the stuff that's not posted on Twitter, will be put at the back end of this video. So it's going to be like 25 minutes maybe. There was a lot of clips that I took. But
a lot.
Yeah. Follow Brian. His Twitter's in the description. His YouTube channel's in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate you coming back. And we will see you guys tomorrow for another day of Lions-Giants joint practice recap. Peace out, everyone. Dex. Kind of got put into the ground there.
Yeah, it was a good rep until it happened. All right. Wide receiver DB, I'm looking
Elijah Chapman.
hands off the line. 49 missed the direct on that.
Z.
see what Tom is doing. I don't want to do that. Another one here. Motion right. Formation, so off to the right, one to the right. Yep. It's just figuring out who the number 2 is going to be. Realistically, put the lock at 3. But paying that much, it would be rough. When everything started, Locke was doing better than Jones at first, but now Jones is strengthened up. And a good amount of these guys got their jerseys rolled up. We got hit on the ball. Pick it off! So O-line messed up that one.
Just jam up the ball. Forget the passes. Just jam them up.
Through the hands. Alright. Try inside. Let's just starters here. Hand off to the left. 2 yards there. Look, they're getting pressure. Oh my gosh. Finish the wrap. One bit total. And my short flat to the outside. Oh. Alright, snap, DJ move and handoff. Okay.
All start! Let me yell next time there's a fight.
I gotta say though, DeVito delivered a really good ball on that one.
Was it a pick?
He got it.
Which number?
53. lined up on the left.
Oh, that's Banks then. Stop.
I don't know who made the catch though.
Is it Drew again? Is Drew again?
Again!
And there's punches this time with 11.
Oh, there was a push. There was a push. Someone pushed Van Roten.
This is the second time that's happened. Block the shot, buddy. And off there. On offense, that's why. Okay. It's the offensive side. Sorry, the numbers got me confused. I forget that they have them for different sides. With the catch.
Fucking go.
Another one.